favorite.
Yo, feel the vibe. We are entertainment. CBM Radio. We are that station that you're looking for, that your mama warned you about. Yo, we are entertainment.
Add us to your favorites.
Add us to your favorites.
Add us to your favorites.
And keep your browser locked.
Keep your browser locked. Yeah, this station's got soul.
Hey yo, CBM Radio. Feel the vibe, man.
Yeah, this station's got soul.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an episode of The Lens, where we look at the world from fresh perspectives. I'm your host, May Patience Esther, and today I am with...
Kaitana Guma Davis.
We're diving deep into a topic that influences every aspect of our lives. Culture. Davis, what is culture?
I believe culture is not just something we experience. I feel it shapes the way we see the world and our values, and even our identity. Yeah, and personally, from the art we create to the traditions we uphold, culture is really a thread that connects us across time and space. Yeah.
So according to Davis, culture is connection, culture is value, culture is art, and culture is identity. So sit back, open your mind, and let's take a closer look at the powerful force that is culture. But speaking of culture, did you know that our national symbol, the crested crane, is facing extinction?
Oh, that's really bad.
Oh wow, the way he said it. Yeah. But yes, according to the conservationists, their numbers have been declining for the past 25 years by over 80%. Now that is really terrible.
Yeah, it's really high. Terrible. Yeah.
So we relate this to the increasing population of Uganda. The crested crane is known to be a wetland dweller. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
And it is not a migratory bird.
Yeah.
Meaning, if we encroach in its habitat, it will be left with nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Explaining the numbers that are declining. However, it is also known that in the 1970s, Uganda had about 100,000 of these birds in existence. And yet today, we only have a population of 10,000. And they say the local Baganda used to protect this bird because of their superstition, where they would tell people that if you provoked, attacked, or killed this bird, its friends and relatives, Keith and king,
that's really a good
they would not give you peace. And people actually bought this, you know? They bought this and they would not hurt this bird. They loved it because they were fearful and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, back to today's topic.
Yeah.
Culture.
Really nice topic.
Would you like to tell me some of the famed habits, cultural habits in Uganda to begin with?
Okay, yeah, I would really love to give you a hint. Well, for Uganda as a country, unlike other countries, it's considered of many cultures that are divided into tribes, and each tribe speaking a different language, right? So mostly, the most prominent culture in Uganda right now is the Baganda culture.
Yeah.
Just because it's more of a civilized, are not civilized, but it's more of a.
It's more organized.
Yeah, it's more organized and it's more real African. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For example, they have these morals. Like a Muganda lady has to follow these morals regardless what. You know what I'm saying?
But all cultures have their own morals.
I'm just still on the Baganda type. Like they really have to stick their culture. For example, you're not supposed to marry someone from your same clan.
I talk about that.
Yeah.
Why so? It's never really made sense
Of
to me.
course.
It's not like you're related or anything.
No, you're related.
How?
You have one common ancestor. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Ah,
clan. Yeah, you have one common ancestor.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And best of all, they respect their husband by kneeling down. That's a really good gesture of respect if you don't realize that. Someone kneels down to you.
Okay.
Come on, it's one of the best things you really feel. And
You
actually,
said that like you like to be knelt for.
No, actually, they don't kneel for only their men.
Uh-huh.
Also, their elders who happen to be their fellow women, like
Yeah.
their mothers,
Yeah.
their aunties, their grandmothers. So it's not only like part of the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's where the respect comes in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and secondly, they have a really organized monarchy.
That is very true.
Yeah, that
Very,
is
very true.
recognized by the government of Uganda. What I'm saying, and this
Yeah.
monarchy has helped promote Buganda culture and implement the cultural practices in Buganda, like the Kawaka birthday run, you
Yeah.
know, his coronation ceremony.
Also, there's this program run by the Nabagirika. It's called Echisakate,
Yeah,
Have you heard of
I've
it?
also heard of that.
where they take girls to learn how to cook,
That's really good.
house management, things
Yeah,
like
but
that.
well, that doesn't mean other cultures in Uganda are inactive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, though the Baganda culture still has still had an impact.
Well, they
Mm.
are putting
For
in the work.
example, most cultures in Uganda still put on kanzus. You realize that? Even some Western tribes put on kanzus on their introduction ceremony. So that's an impact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, though the Wanyankore don't. Just an example. Yeah, but other cultures, you go to the Banyoro, you go to the Batoro, you go to the Basoga, they put on kanzu. So it has
Mine
really,
as well.
yeah, it has, yeah, yours as well, right?
Yes,
It has really influenced other cultures.
that is true.
Yeah, and maybe the food. We have nice food though. Yeah, and nice names.
The banana leaf flavored
Yeah,
food,
the
lubombo, the
Yeah.
posho, and the ndagala.
that,
They call
yeah.
ndagala. Yeah.
And they also, they also name their children according to clans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have this clan, you're supposed to have this name. No matter how bad it is, it's your name. And that
Yeah.
name carries meaning.
Tamblango Muganda.
That's good. Yeah, you have
Walk.
to treat yourself like a Muganda.
It doesn't mean walk.
One time I was somewhere, and then my friend was having an interview, and then the interviewer was like, "What's your tribe?" And the guy was like, "I'm Muganda."
Yeah.
I Tamblango Muganda. So I expected that guy to stand up and walk like him. So I thought maybe Baganda have a different walking style. Like, let me wait for his walking style and see. And instead, this guy just introduced himself as introduced his names.
Nedira.
Ndimwanawa, Nedilachi, what.
Yeah.
Hey, Jaja wange yo no, I tell you. I was like, okay.
But
So these guys also know their great grandparents.
Yeah.
And personally,
It's
I don't.
very impressive, honestly.
Yeah, I also don't actually know my grandparents very well. I know the names, but
Me
I
neither.
don't know their characters.
Very
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're all victims of that. Because the first time I heard Tamblango Muganda, I also thought the same thing. Like, what do you mean
For real.
Tamblango Muganda? Am I supposed to walk a certain kind of way? Anyway, proceed.
Anyways, yeah. But then we also have other cultures in Uganda that are really, really good and attractive, right?
Yeah.
For example, the Western culture.
Yeah.
Mostly we shall specialize on the Wanyankore people, but the Wanyankore people's culture only rely on their cattle. Yeah.
Before
Nyankole
you
culture.
speak about the Banyankole, there's something very important we forgot
What's that?
about the Baganda.
What's that?
Their traditional dance.
Oh.
We just had to mention.
What is
we
it
cannot-
called again?
I don't know. But
Hey, Bakisimba.
no, there are very many. There's Baksimba and some I cannot mention
But we
because
all
I
call
do
them
not
Maganda.
know.
But
Yes.
in Maganda, we don't know the
but
the
it's
names.
really, their dance is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love how when they start to dance, the energy in the place is automatically lit up, you know? Yeah.
And that's really good, you know. There's a message in that dancing, by the way. You get my point?
The way they move their waists.
Yeah. And then something else is that back to the Wanyankore people.
Yeah.
Their culture is mainly inhabited only cattle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're not all Wanyankore are cattle keepers. They also have agriculturalists. You know what I'm saying?
Banyankole or Westerners?
Westerners, but all
Okay.
Westerners are divided into two. We have the pastoralists and agriculturalists. For example, in the Batoro, Banyoro, we have, they are called the Babito.
Okay.
Those are the descendants of the Lo Babito. And then you have the real Banyoro and Batoro.
People know your history. Listen
Yeah.
to facts.
That's really good. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you join that history of that Bachoese style whereby the Lo from the north had to invade, that's where the Babito come from.
Okay.
Yeah, but those are the cattle keepers. Then the rest are agriculturists. Then, for example, also among the Banyankore, we also have the Bahima and the Beiru. The Bahima are cattle keepers and the Beiru are agriculturists. Though we don't use the word Beiru because it's more of it's kind of an abusive word. So we call them Banyankore, local Banyankore.
Wait.
Yeah.
From
History
my
uses the
from my
word.
from my little history,
Yeah.
because I did not continue with history to upper secondary. But it is known, are they the people that the king used to spear his?
Yeah, those were the
Okay.
ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So those ones are the cattle keepers.
Yeah.
Bahima. But we don't say Beiru. So there are varying cultures. But then the Nyankwe culture has been influenced by the Bahima culture.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's also a nice culture, right? The weddings, the food,
Yeah.
the dances as well.
Very graceful. I love the way the
Yeah.
ladies dance with the pots in their
Staburo.
heads.
And the milk they take, the chanzi and actually my favorite Nyankwe food is Nshabwe. I say when I'm going anywhere with my dad, I'd be like, Dad, I want a Nshabwe.
Ishabwe is, what is
Do you know
Ishabwe?
Nshabwe? Nshabwe is ghee.
Okay.
Yeah, they make ghee and put in cold water and put in a lake stone. You know lake stone?
No.
Lake stone, stones from the lake.
Okay.
Yeah. In Uganda they call it. Yeah. Okay. I know it in my language it's called the chonde. I know it in
It's
Uganda.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah. But you've known a cooking. Okay, let me call it a cooking stone.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of making, make sure that stone melts in water and putting that. Then you have to turn until it becomes like porridge, like. So that's
Hold
the
on.
sauce.
The stone
It's
can
not
melt.
cooked. Mishawa is not cooked. It's just like roast soup, just put in raw ghee. You get my point?
Okay.
Yeah. So, and karo, millet flour. Yeah, I think that's the most common food in Chinyangwe culture, and mostly Western cultures, Banyoro Batoro also share kind of that.
I like color too, though. Where we come from, where I come from,
Yeah.
we call it chwada.
They call it chwada.
We
Oh,
call
that's
it
really
chwada.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's it. Then the Eastern cultures, mostly the Basoga and I think the Basoga.
The iteso,
The Basoga share a culture with the Baganda, right?
somewhat, in a way.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, that's why when you know Luganda, you can pick up a few words from Lusoga.
Yeah. Actually, I like the Lusoga language. It sounds more of like appealing. You'll never hear a Musoga quarreling, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Their language is really, it's like the Rutoro language, you know what I'm saying?
I won't say, but are
Okay,
you sure?
Yeah, I'm really sure because I had a friend who was a Musoga.
Davis.
Okay, maybe I think it was his talking style that made him talk that way.
Yes, it was probably just him.
I rest my case. And then the northern culture, well, I know what I know about the northern culture mostly from the Karimajongs upwards,
Mm-hmm.
because you guys are almost the same people, right? Okay,
I know you. I know you've heard him say "you guys" a couple of times. Yes, I'm Northern as well,
Yeah,
but not necessarily Northern because I come from West Nile.
West
Yeah.
Nile. So could you tell me the differences between those tribes, like the Karimajongs, the Itesots, then the Acholis, the Arus, then we cross to the Langis, the Kakwas. How do you guys? Because you guys seem okay in our facial expression.
We look alike.
You look alike. Like even when you guys speak in your languages, I can't differentiate Langi and Acholi. Someone is speaking the Karimojong language, I can't differentiate between the Karimojong language and the Acholi
Now,
language.
Langi and Acholi are somewhat similar.
Yeah.
There are some words they share, but different meanings.
Okay.
But I cannot speak for the Karimajong because I do not know. I am Kakwa.
Okay.
Yes. And my language is very, very distinct. Eh? It is very
Yeah,
distinct. I have spoken before, and yes, I do know my language. I have spoken before, and people are in shock. Like, oh my goodness, what is that? Where do you come from? I thought, I thought you were Acholi. I thought you're Langi. I'm like, no, I'm Kakwa. Though there's a little bit of similarity.
Yeah.
I think it's because we're all from the north. It's something like a Baganda and Basoga
Yeah.
thing going on.
Well, some other
Yes.
thing I know about the Karimojong culture is that the difference between the Karimojongs and the Itesots, that the Karimojongs are cattle keepers and the Itesots are the culture is. Well, this story they told us that at one point back in the old days, this group, both the Itesots and the Karimojongs, were migrating,
Oh yeah.
right? So the old women and men felt tired to continue the journey, and they settled somewhere. So the Itesots said, "These are Karimojongs." So the meaning of Karimojongs mean they were left behind. That's a kind of a story I told us back in school. I don't know if it's true, guys. If you're Karimojongas, just drop the true story in the comment section.
Is that why
Explain
they
more.
say what they say about Karamoja?
Yeah, not in a bad way, but that was a story I was told back when I was a kid. Like those guys were tired of moving the journey, and the Itesots had. That's why the Itesots moved further from them, and the Karimojongs were left behind.
Oh,
So they were
yeah.
like, "These are Karimojongs." The word the word for Karimojong in Itesot is they were left behind.
Do you
In
know
my
the
point.
word?
That's the word Karimojong. That's why they were called the Karimojong.
Wait, hold up. So in Iteso, when you want to say left behind, you say Karamajong.
Yeah, that's the word.
Oh my.
You know what I'm saying? But that's from the story our teacher told us back in school. So I don't know if it's
Was
true.
he being honest or it's a myth?
I don't really know. I think it's a legend. You know these people things where they taught us Chintuanambi,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Machoizi,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
all
yeah.
that. So I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's where the story came from. Yeah, that's it. Ugandan culture. But well, Ugandan culture is really a
Rich.
diversifying, rich culture.
That is
Yeah,
true.
we some of us see the Karamojongs as backward, but they really have a nice culture. If you've seen the way they look after their cattle, you've seen how they dress up, they are really conservative in their culture. And I don't think it's bad to be conservative in your own culture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because cattle gives them
But you know,
everything they need.
Davis, for a person to have that mindset, it's you stereotyping people. He shouldn't judge people
Yeah,
because of their culture. The Ugandan culture and its diversity is very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
North, south, central, east, west.
everywhere.
Very beautiful people. Have you seen the Iteso? They are gorgeous. Come to the Baganda women. Very, very beautiful. Basoga, very beautiful. People from the west, gorgeous. People from north, oh my goodness, black beauties, very beautiful people, you know? So
Yeah.
it's wrong for you to think, and I actually love it when a person can uphold their culture, know where
Yeah,
you
it's
come
really
from,
good.
speak about it with pride.
Yeah.
There's a thing that is common these days, especially among people about our age, the youth.
Okay.
You cannot have a conversation openly in your local language. Otherwise, you'll be termed local.
But what I think, okay, yeah, yes, I feel your problem, but you know, Uganda as a country, unlike other countries that have a common language, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uganda up to now we don't have a common language that we can share. What would be like a common language is Luganda.
Yeah,
You feel my point?
yeah,
Yeah, but when I'm speaking to someone who understands my language,
yeah.
a third party has no right to stop from speaking my language. I've got that challenge many times.
Thank you
know what
very
I'm saying?
much.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
like back in school, I had a Muchiga friend,
Uh-huh.
and you know, Muchiga and Nyankole almost are the same. So
Uh-huh.
when we're speaking, we easily understand each other.
Oh, yeah?
So when I was speaking with my Muchiga friend, really fun, his name is Simon, he would really be like, someone would be like, Naim, why don't you talk about what we understand? And I'm like,
Why
yo.
did you speak English?
Yeah, I'm like, yo. They're like, no, when I speak Luganda, you're in Uganda. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm in Uganda. But I'll speak Luganda at the right time, speak with Nyankole at the right time. If I know you don't understand my language. why
Besides,
would
you're
I-
speaking to Simon, not to
Yeah,
him.
not them.
Yeah,
If I know you don't understand my language, then why should I have
yeah.
the guys to speak in my language? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, just feel proud of your culture heritage, guys. No matter where you go, no matter where you live, feel proud of your culture heritage. Whether you go to the diasporas and meet a fellow there, I'm not saying be tribalistic or what or Semitic, no. Just love what you are, right? Be proud of your culture heritage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can say that again.
be proud of your cultural heritage. If you're in Uganda, dude, you're in Uganda, nothing's gonna change that.
And it's okay.
Yeah, and it's okay to be a Muganda. If you're a Musoga, if you're a Mukonzo, be proud of being a Mukonzo. It's not
Yeah,
easy
it's
to have to live among the tallest mountains in Uganda. You think it is
Tell
easy?
them. Tell them.
You know what I'm saying? If you're Nacholi, don't start forging Luganda accents. You are Nacholi. Feel proud of your Choliness. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you're Mnyanko, don't feel intimidated. Like, if I'm in Uganda, let me highlight that I'm not Mnyanko, I'm Uganda, because they'll feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people, it's very, very good to be proud
Your
of who you
own-
are, where
for
you
real.
come from. Look at the people we love to emulate.
Yeah.
The British, the Americans. These people, they know their heritage.
They know their heritage.
Look at the British for years on end. This is the what? The monarch right now. Is it the 21st? What?
I think King Charles II, I think. It's a really long
People, it has gone on for years.
Have you seen the Scots?
I
Those
don't
men
really-
put on skirts.
yeah.
You've seen them.
And they love it.
And they
And
love
it's
it,
okay
yeah.
while they play
Yeah.
their bagpipes. It's fine.
The French eat snails. It's part of their culture, yes. It's really weird eating snakes, but that's their traditional food. Like, dude, that's what they know. That's
It's
where
who
they came
you
from.
are. You know, it's
Yeah.
why you're unique.
You know what I'm saying? The Chinese still eat snakes and have business. Business is thriving in China. Snakes business. I'm not saying they do, but that's really their food. And they're proud of it. They're really proud of their Chinese heritage.
They're known for their daring
And the
behavior
language is
to
really,
try.
really funny. You know, shout, but they really feel proud of that shout language. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so guys, culture is culture. Men make culture, and culture doesn't make man. What I'm trying to say is that don't focus too much on culture. We are in an evolving world.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm not saying don't be too liberal or don't be too conservative, but move with what is moving. You know what my dad always
Genda
tells
never
me?
genda.
You know what my dad always tells me?
What?
He always tells me, do anything you want as long
Mm-hmm.
it does not break the law. You know what I'm saying?
Be daring.
Yeah, being homosexual in Uganda is a crime, right?
Yeah.
Because of the contradicting culture stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not supposed to be that, and I don't want to be that.
Bless the Lord.
Yeah. I can't. Like, with all the beautiful women we have in Uganda, why would I think of me that? So anyways, our next culture, we are going to diversify Ugandan culture to African culture,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, well, Africa as a continent
Yeah.
is divided into two main cultural practices, as I mentioned before, though we still have other minor cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So Africa has the nomads, or the pastoralists, and the agriculturalists.
Agriculturalists.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the nomads are those who look after their cattle, they move around looking for pasture and water, and the agriculturalists are those who
Settle down and
yeah,
grow
culture, they do-
food.
Yeah, crop growing, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And also we have the sea people. What I mean by the sea people are those who live by fishing. Initially, the Baganda had carried out the economic activity of fishing
Yeah.
back in the old days. But we still have guys like the Malagases who live around the Indian Ocean.
Yeah. I
We
was
have
about to
guys-
say that.
Yeah, the Seychelles,
Mhm.
the Seychelles Islands. You know, it's an island,
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
live around the seas. We also have many other islands, the Comoros, all that. So those are sea people.
Are
Though
people
they
from
practice agriculture.
Are people from Madagascar also sea people?
Yeah, I believe they are fishermen
Yeah.
because they
Must
live around
be.
the sea. That's their life. Because do you know what makes them that? Think about it. The environment you live in.
Yeah,
that
it's their environment.
determines your culture activity. The reason the nomads were living in the north because the north is mainly desert.
Mm-hmm. So they had to move
Yeah.
and look for food and
The
water.
southern part of Africa is tropical, so crop growing is favorable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything is favorable. So cultures are derived from these economic activities they carried out. You know what I'm saying? For example, if we go through a short history of this, it's going to be a petite history. The nomads initially lived in the northern part of Africa
Yeah.
before the Arabic invasion. These were the Egyptians, the Libyans, all that. Though they also carried out a little bit of crop growing along the Nile, along the Mediterranean Sea. And most of them carried out cattle growing. Actually, especially the Libyan part and what. Up to now, we still have the guys like the Babas.
Mm-hmm.
They carry out cattle rearing, on sheep rearing, all that. Yeah, and then after the Arabic invasion, these guys were pushed southwards. Actually, before the Arabic invasion,
Yeah.
due to the increasing climatic changes, they used to migrate southwards.
Oh yeah.
Know what I'm saying? So when they migrate southwards, they interfere with the other populations. That's why the Cameroonians who were living in Cameroon by then had to come this side, the Bantu. They came to Uganda, Kenya, East Africa, South Africa, and found the bush people who focused only on hunting and food gathering. So these bush people were again displaced southwards,
Okay.
where they are now in the Kalahari deserts and what. But though, whenever they were pushed southwards, the Bantu used to find them there. Because the Bantu were also looking for their favorable areas for crop growing and whatever. But then those Bantu people also pushed out from the homelands by the coming nomads. Know
So
what
it's
I'm
a
saying?
cycle.
Yeah, it's more of a cycle. Yeah, but then that didn't change their cultures.
Yeah.
Because you realize Bantu is just an ethnic group that has a different language, but we celebrate or actually almost same cultures. If you look at the Rwandese in Rwanda and the Wanyanko, it's almost okay. It's more of a different culture, but slightly.
It's
little bit
somewhat
different.
the same.
Some of the same. You know what I'm saying? And the South Africans and Baganda here, they almost celebrate the same culture.
That is very true.
Yeah. So after that, our culture, after those years of settling and what, our culture was affected by foreign intervention.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, that's like the Arabs, the Europeans, they also ever that
Yeah.
the most Africans resorted to trade. Get to know you get what I'm saying? So when they resorted to trade, they realized trade was giving them more income than their old cultural customs. What I'm saying, we have the transatlantic trade, we have the East African coast trade, we have all those trades. We studied in history in high school. Hope you remember that. But
And the unfortunate slave trade.
yeah, and that's slave trade. The people mistake the whites for selling slaves, but it was us who sold our slaves. Europeans had no time to come to African villages fighting and taking those slaves. They actually just came and picked them out.
You could put it on the kings and chiefs.
Yeah, they give them money, you're like you. And finally, it's like they give them something like sweets, and they're like, oh, you could give us 2 women. Yeah, I'm like, sometimes African culture is really funny.
Honestly, how could you devalue a person like
For
that?
real. And you're like, Jesus. But then, what happened was that African culture kept on evolving by that.
Oh yeah.
But those who benefited more from the trade were those who lived along the coast, not those who lived in the interior.
Mm.
Yeah. So trade came in, aspiring, increasing, blah, blah, blah. And then it affected African culture so much. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree 100%.
Yeah, so just because these guys had money, had everything, now they took come and control the trade in Africa, the Europeans and the Arabs.
Yeah.
That's why they came to colonize us and stuff. They wanted to control everything in Africa because Africa is really rich in mineral resources and what.
That is very true.
Yeah. And yeah, that's how it came. Colonialism, etc happened. So now we are living in another culture,
Which is
the Western culture. Only the Western culture, we're still living in the Arabic culture. Well, nowadays, culture is determined by religion. Not talking about religion, but for example, are the Muslims practicing of Arabic culture? You know, naming their children Arabic names.
it's such a cocktail,
Yeah.
and it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'd like to go places and have people named with their indigenous names. Let's think. You're Kaitana.
I'm Kaitana. Actually, I like someone calling me by my name, Kaitana.
I like the name too. It's a good name.
It's really a good name.
Let's say-
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It is a good name.
Thank
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's say we're called. Give me a Western name.
Sorry?
Give me a Western name.
A Western name.
Yes.
Biarhanga, we have.
Let's say you were called Kaitana Biarhanga.
Yeah.
Now that's something. Whereas today, people would prefer to be called, oh my goodness, I am a victim of this, but still
It's the
I have a
it's really
surname.
funny.
But still I have a surname. Okay?
Yeah.
May.
Yeah.
It's a symbol. It's right there.
Yeah.
Today you'll have someone called Charles Evans. What do you mean you're Charles Evans? There is a lineage you have to protect.
Yeah, protect.
You
Yeah, that's
understand? There is a heritage you have to protect. There is a reason as to why your grandfather was called Biarohanga.
Yeah. Biarhanga means gods.
And probably his great
because of
grandfather as well.
I've I have a role model who happens to be an American actor,
Mm-hmm.
but he's Ugandan by heritage.
Is it David?
No. Actually, he's Munyankore, my tribe mate,
Uh-huh.
but he's American. He speaks American. He doesn't speak my language. So he has 4 names.
Yeah.
And all those names, there's no English name. It's called Ntare, Mbaho, Guma, Mwine.
There we go.
He has no English name.
There we go.
So in one interview, he was asked, what do those names
Mean.
He was like, Ntare means lion. Guma means stay strong. That's my other name. That's a family
Guma.
name. Yeah, stay strong.
Uh-huh.
Then Mwine, I have God.
I have God.
Ntare, Mbaho, Guma.
Mbaho.
Mbaho. I'm alive. Like, I'm alive.
Mbao.
No, not Mbao.
No.
Mbaho.
I know it's Mbaho. I'm just trying to relate it to the
I mean,
Uganda thing,
yeah.
like Mbao.
Which
Like,
thing,
yeah.
So, I mean, his dad, they grew up in America. Everything was in America. But his dad had to carry that Chinyankore heritage and take it
Identity.
to America. You know what I'm saying?
Identity.
Yeah, but someone is going to leave Africa and go to America and will give his child names like Terry White. And you're like, what do you mean of Terry White? You're not even white, you're black, dude.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
No offense, by the
No
way.
offense, but
we
we're just
love the
friends.
American culture, but
Yeah.
people, you need to
Love your heritage.
exactly. You need to be proud of who you are. You're African for a
For
reason.
real.
Do you know the power
Of being
that you
African.
hold?
Well,
You
that's
should,
it.
yeah.
That's really good and
It's a
really said.
fact.
It's really a fact.
It's a fact. We hold powerful history. We
Yeah.
need to be the embodiment of it. Walk around with your head up high because you're African. You understand?
I feel.
Let me tell you this.
Yeah.
I attended a white school almost
Okay.
for some
Oh,
time.
that's the effect. That's the effect of the accent.
Yeah. For some time, for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And there were very many kids here. Kids from America, kids from Mexico, kids from Japan, stuff like that. And no, it wasn't an international school. It's private.
It's very but more of a white school.
Yes. And because of that, I did not like my surname growing up. I prefer to be called Amy. No, you would not call me Amy in my presence. What was
Yeah,
that? You understand?
Yeah.
Because I'm with kids called Inosuke. I'm with kids called
Vladimir.
Anna. You understand? Things
I
like
feel
that.
it.
And it just did not make sense to me because I wanted to fit in.
Yeah.
Until I grew up and I started to dig deep into our history. And I was reading about people
You
like...
fell in love with your history.
Exactly, I fell in
understand.
love. I was reading about the Mansa Musa, all that kind of stuff. I read about my origin, the Kakwa people, where we came from. I'm proud to be Kakwa, by the way. For a very long time,
Yeah.
I have been ignorant. I will not lie.
Do you know one of our presidents was Kakwa?
Idi
You know the
Amin.
president, that's the man.
Oh, yes, he was. Yes, he was. And I really began to love it. One of the people in Africa that made me to start to love the African culture
Mm-hmm.
is the Zulu.
Was
Oh my goodness. South Africans love that they are African. They will speak their language and they do
Yeah.
not mind. And then here is a child in Uganda. You cannot speak Luganda because you're considered local. Yes, I understand that there are very many languages and all that kind of stuff. But if I'm speaking to somebody who understands Luganda, it's fine.
Yeah.
It is honestly fine. You know what, Choli? You're with a tribe mate and they speak to
surprisingly.
you. Speak it.
The surprise is like there are people who are not Baganda, but they speak better Luganda than those who are Baganda. There are people who are not my tribe. For example, in my primary, we had a guy who was a Choli. He was called Feta. Feta was a Choli. He had a nice English accent that you wouldn't know how to speak because you know my people have a fun English accent. Yeah, I know that. But Feta would speak
No, I
English
don't.
and you're like, maybe this guy doesn't know Nyankore.
Yeah.
So one time we were teasing him in our language, we abused him what? Nigga spoke in Nyankore. Yo. I was like shocked. Because all his life he has been in the West. He also did his secondary school from the West.
Uh-huh.
You know? But him being northern, okay, I think his parents work in the West, but all his school, all his academic life has been in the West.
In the West.
But dude speaks his language, he speaks Nyankole, and you're like, are you Nyankole? He's like, no, I'm a Choli. And you're like, I was shocked.
By the way, we need to acknowledge how adaptive Ugandans are. It
That's-
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. Take somebody from Busoga,
Yeah.
drop them in West Nile, let them spend about 3 months. They will speak the language
Language perfectly.
perfectly. And also the people there embrace them.
Yeah.
Ugandans are very hospitable people. Thank
That's-
God for that.
that's
Very
Uganda.
lovely,
Everyone has
very
talked
loving
about that.
people. You understand? And yes, and I have to give it to us. We're very adaptive.
Yeah.
It's really not hard for us to blend in any environment.
Well, the other thing, as you talked earlier, you know, this Arabic culture, this African culture
Mm.
was not only a negative eye opener to Africans, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also had some positive impact. For example, if it was not for foreign intervention or foreign culture,
Mm.
we don't have leaders like Mansa Musa, we don't have leaders like Sundiata Keita, West Africa, we don't have guys like Shaka Zulu, South Africa,
Yeah.
we don't have guys like Kavalig of Bunyoro, we don't have guys like Mwakawaka Mwanga, we don't have guys like, you know, those guys, those kings that really made a name for themselves. Mansa Musa, up to now, is recorded as the richest man
Richest.
to ever live.
Mm-hmm.
You
It
know
is
what-
known
You know what made him rich?
the gold.
It was trade.
Yeah, the trade.
Of which trade was introduced by the foreigners. His
The
Africans,
Arab.
we had trade initially, but
Mhm.
more, it was more of a barter trade system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not a monetary system. And more of a minor, it was more of a microeconomic system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have a cow, I give you a goat, that's it. All guys was selling
That's
things
a
on an
loss.
international basis.
Yeah.
So that's what made him rich.
It's known that his wealth is estimated to be worth more than Elon and Jeff Bezos, I
Yeah.
believe, combined. So that man was really, really wealthy. Where did he come from?
Mali.
Oh, yeah. And also, I was reading about him sometime,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a time he went through Egypt.
Mm.
And in just one day, he went around giving gold to
Oh, yeah, to
whoever he saw
everyone,
was
yeah.
poor. And my goodness, the Egyptian economy
Economy.
came crumbling in
Yeah.
just one day. So that's how wealthy
You
that
for
man
real?
was. In just one day.
Egyptian economy.
Yes.
Oh, that's
I
really
mean,
crazy.
I have wealth. I have no need, bruh.
But he was a Muslim,
Like he
and the
did it.
Muslim rule says, give someone in need.
Yeah.
That's what he used to do. But well, culture is has really been really has really played a big role, a vital role in Africa's development, politically, socially.
That is very true.
economically.
Culture impacts us in all aspects.
Yeah.
How though? Economically. Since we have
Economic-
spoken about Mansa's wealth.
Economically, it has boosted Africa's kind of okay. Well, not all African economies. Economies of Africa. Yeah.
We celebrate under the baobab. Stories are told, tales of our ancestors, brave and bold. We honor our roots with dance and delight, a tapestry woven of day and night. We dress in the finest, our In the heart of Africa, we dance in the sun. Our colors so vibrant, we're never outdone. Laughter and music, they fill up the air. Celebrating culture with joy we all share. We dress in the finest, our heritage proud. Voices like thunder, we're singing out loud. Beads and bright fabrics, they whirl in our spin. In this celebration, let the festives begin. Africa's spirit, it shines like a flame. Echoes of history calling our name. With every beat our hearts resonate. Together in rhythm we celebrate. Under the baobab, stories are told. Tales of our ancestors, brave and bold. We honor our roots with dance and delight. A tapestry woven of day and night. We dress in the finest, our heritage proud. Voices like thunder, we're singing out loud. Beads and bright fabrics, they whirl in our spin. In this celebration, let the festives begin. Africa's spirit, it shines like a flame. Echoes of history calling our name.
We're going to finish with welcome back from that short break. As we finish, we're going to talk about how culture affects economic systems in Uganda. Davis, proceed. You were talking about it before we went for the break.
Well, the culture systems have affected the economy.
Well, not just in Uganda. You could also please speak about Africa at large.
Yeah, that's really good. Well, for the Ugandan part, I'll begin with Uganda, a country. Yeah, most economic activities we carry out in Uganda are more of are got from our cultural practices like agriculture, where we get some exports like coffee, tea, get exports like maize. That's agriculture, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, we also export milk and other cattle products
Oh yeah.
to other countries. Well, speaking of Africa at large, culture. I think culture in Africa is also, I was talking about the exports and what, but it has also boosted the tourism attraction in Africa, right? Because people want to see the history.
I mean the tourism sector. That is very true.
Africa, like the pyramids in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of culture. We have people want to see how people live their lives.
That is true.
Yeah, that's why, like the Baganda, how did they live before we came in? You know what I'm saying? And that life, it's more like of a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
People are tired of living that city life, and they're like,
what do they eat? How do they
eat? How
dress?
do they live?
Their indigenous housing.
You know what I'm saying? And they realize that this is one of the best lives to live, unlike their lives they live in the cities.
Because it's very calm, it's peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying city life is bad, but it's more comfortable here in living the traditional way.
It's because we commune. In the city, you're all by yourself. It gets
yeah.
lonely.
Yeah, it's total capitalism. Well, that's also good. You don't need to commune all the time. You have to sometimes live by your own. That's the laws of nature.
That's true.
Yeah.
But once in a while.
Once in a while, it's not bad.
We're social beings for a reason, you know?
That's it. Well, the other thing is that it has also boosted the connectivity between Africans and other races. Let me say, like the Arabs, like the Europeans, the Latinos.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you meet a white guy, he will tell you, in our culture, we do this, we do this, we do this, we do that, and also tell you what you do. So you guys create a friendship, you create a bond.
Oh yeah.
You get my point? Like it's more of like a learning process. It's more like of a study purposes.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's very
understand?
true.
Yeah. Well, to a larger part, to a larger extent, culture has really boomed the economies. It's the effects of the foreign invasion. We were bigger in Africa. We had no beggars, we had no burglars, we had nothing. Maybe the only people we had were the insane people. Yeah, that's what we had. But not like a street beggar. Like, for example, in my culture, when you're moving house to house, they'll say, "Come and we eat,"
Oh yeah.
and you go to eat. In African culture, you would spend the whole year without cooking your own food. You go like, today I'm going to this village. I'm having breakfast at his home, lunch at his home, supper.
You have a
at his home."
schedule.
Yeah, you have the schedule. So you just move around and you greet yourself. You're like,
You'll always be welcome.
then you start asking how their day was. You start asking how they happen to harvest such crops. So you have to mark the time by that way. Like when the food is ready, you know what I'm saying?
Sneaky.
And they'll be like, okay, like you're like.
Sneaky.
Now the trick is this: so as you're going, and they're like, "Hey, come and do it." You'll be, okay, but I'd eaten, but it's all I can join you.
Yeah.
That's how Africans lived these days. But when they introduced this capital, actually, it's still there up to now, but in rural areas, but in urban areas, it's way far.
Come on, there's some people that are still
Yeah, there are
hospitable.
still, but the majority in urban centers, people have problems that we know nothing about. Yeah, and with the introduction of foreign cultures, that went dying out slowly by slowly. You get my point. For example, now everyone has to. You have your own money. You have your own food. You have your own everything. You have your own phone. You feel my point?
Housing systems
Housing
alone.
systems also different. We live
Back
in
then we used to
nuclear
live in
system.
homesteads. These
Yeah.
days it's
You
your
have
own
like a
house.
big compound whereby that's your dad, that's your uncle, that's your uncle, that's one of your aunties who failed marriages, that's your grandmother, that's your, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that created love.
Yeah.
Because my grandma told me that at one point stepmothers and stepkids were really good. But the introduction of this, what I'm saying.
It's all a mess.
Yeah, but with all that, culture has still been, it's still the backbone of most African economies, especially agriculture. That's why it's called agriculture. Agriculture means the way we grow crops and rear animals. Some use irrigation, some wait for the rainy season. That's culture. Know what I'm saying?
Uganda, for instance.
Yeah. Some rear animals, some rear cows, and others rear goats. Know what I'm saying? Some rear sheep. So that's culture in its own way. That's what agriculture.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing, finally, so maybe it has affected our social life. Maybe that we have changed, despite the fact we have changed from the old culture. Now, for example, in our relationship statuses, presently, what I'm saying, for example, in African culture, relationships were involved in by parents.
Yeah.
Parents decided for who you're supposed to marry, and by the time they decide,
You have no say.
no, they made a thorough research. I think that was the best way. No, let's make it easy. Let's make it simple, right? Approaching a girl right now. For example, some of us are shy, man. I'm not saying I'm. I
be
am.
bold,
I'm not
be
saying I'm shy.
confident.
No, I'm not
That is
saying
not
I
an
am shy.
excuse.
I'm not saying I'm shy, but some fellow men who were shy those days, like your dad or your mom, goes to his friend and it's like, as you guys are taking these beer parties,
Yeah.
taking beers from the pot, and then, like your dad tells his fellow man, he's like, "Yo, my son is home, he's single. Like, yeah, I can give you my daughter at a small bride price. You get like 3 cows. And then you marry off. But by the time, listen, some okay, like most times in our generation, the reason we say our parents are wrong is that they are not into this generation.
Yeah.
Things are changing, isn't it? But in the old days, it was fine. Because number one, you marry someone, okay, you don't know them, but your parents know them, right? Your parents know her character. I know you take the modern saying like, yeah, we have to choose, isn't it? Yeah, but then it also had a bad effect, because like it may turn out that I don't like this girl. Yeah, she's good. She does everything. She cooks for me. She has
It's
the best.
not for me.
Yeah, she makes the best food for me. She washes my clothes the best way. She cleans my house the best way. She does everything the best way. But
But my heart
Come
is
on,
just
like-
not there.
I just don't have feelings for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was also that possibility.
You know, according to me, Davis, it was a blessing in disguise. Thank God that happened because women were saved from a lot. Come on, you do not know these people. And I believe parents, they did this more like it was more of like a contract thing. You understand?
Okay.
For example, the kings, he wants to make friendship with communities around.
With another
He'll marry off his daughter.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You get. And come on, people, there
Well,
was more to
That
this.
thing was like this. That reason was like this. You see, the reason I'm saying, I'm not saying it that out of like being so conservative. Yeah, it's bad at some point. But then listen to this. I think about this. You're living in let's put it in 500 years ago, traditional Africa, right?
Yeah.
Okay, pre-colonial Africa.
Yeah.
You're living in a community whereby all practices are made. You know, in pre-colonial Africa, there was a lot of witchcraft.
Yeah.
It's part of culture. There's a lot of sorcery. That's also
Yeah.
that's also part of culture. That was also part of. That was also part of. That was also kind of, night dancing. There was cannibalism at a high rate, by the way. So you travel from your village, right?
Yeah.
You move to another village, maybe to a neighboring village,
Uh-huh.
and a man falls in love with you. Okay, I'm just speaking in their own point of view, in those days' point of view. I'm not saying it's right today. No, it's not right today.
Yes.
But it
that's
was
true.
right those days. You know what I'm saying? Like, you move to a different village and you fall in love with a man. Yes, he's handsome, he's charming, he's everything. He has the 6 abs, he has the body, he has everything you need. He has the love.
And then they looked
But
at
then
different
later
things,
on-
though. Hmm.
You find out that he's a cannibalist.
And you have absolutely no say.
And you have no say, of course. Though, of course, you won't eat it just because you're his wife, but the practices, the things he makes.
You will have to carry them on. You'll have to eat
see my point?
flesh because yeah.
Yeah, so for them, they were just doing this to protect their own children. Because these kids didn't go to school. Like, this home education we are passing through. No, they spend their lives at home, helping their parents, learning all those skills at home,
Yeah.
especially the girls and the boys. Actually, everyone. The boys spend their days with their dads, hunting, looking after cattle, treating those cows. And the girls spend the days with maybe either their moms or aunties,
Aunties.
teaching them life. So how do they expect someone who has been home for all their life to get a partner for themselves? So obviously the parents had to go out when they see that the son is of age, or that their boy or girl is of age, be like, yo, I know you're my friend. And actually they did this to only their friends.
Yeah.
Maybe some parents who sold their kids just out of desperation, like he sells her out. But giving parents, because they were there, goes and meets his friend and he's like, yo,
My daughter.
I know you have a daughter, I have a son. So why don't we improve our friendship like this? And that's how. And those families, by the way, lived longer. Despite the fact that they're polygamous. But they lived longer.
That's true.
Men didn't cheat. Sorry, women didn't cheat. Yes, men did, because it was a custom that men supposed to marry many wives. You know what I'm saying?
I love the honesty though. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? But despite
Yeah.
the fact that, and surprisingly, these co-wives live together in harmony.
Yeah,
There's
that is
nothing
very
like-
true.
My first wife lives in Kampala, the other one lives in Chariwaja, the other one lives in Gulu,
Mm.
the other one is out in Rwanda. There's nothing like that.
Same homestead, same
homestead.
house.
And they're really friends.
Yeah.
But to the coming of okay, I'm not saying it's good to be polygamous. No. Guys, don't quote me.
But with this economy.
Yeah, those were the old days.
Mm.
So with the coming of this new culture, it has really affected this other stuff. And another way culture has played and another role culture has played in our present day relationships, that there are more of cultural expectations, social expectations.
Yeah.
Some societies expect from a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you marry a man, nigga, you marry the whole family. Cultures are there.
Yeah.
You're looking after the wife, you're looking after the son, you're looking after their sick mom, you're looking after the whole family.
Yeah.
But with modernity, that doesn't work out.
It just can't apply. It's impractical.
Yeah, it's like inapplicable. But in those days it did. Like there's a tribe in Nigeria. When you marry from, it's a tribe, but it's not this big tribe like the Igbo, the Yoruba. But I forgot. I've just forgotten about it. But it's just a small tribe there. If you marry one of their girls, you marry the whole family. And in other tribes in the West, an instance is like, if you marry the woman, for example, if I married a woman, the woman belongs to the family. You know what I'm saying?
There's this thing where a man passed on and his brother had the right to marry.
Those are most cultures, but for my culture it's different. Though that was in the old days. You marry a woman, and the woman, your brother has right over her. As
a husband.
No, like she can sleep with her. He can sleep with him, sorry. He can sleep with her.
That's what I meant. Oh my goodness.
You said when the husband passes on.
No. I was asking in regards to what you just said right now.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Like, I have 3 brothers and I marry a wife. So my brother wants to like have sex. He approaches my wife and like, yo, come on, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So that has also been impacted by culture, but the present cultures don't do that.
That is true.
The present culture doesn't encourage that.
Now let's talk about bride price.
Bride price?
The Sudanese. Sometime I watched a video of a man who had to buy 400 cows as bride price. And oh my goodness. This lady, she was so proud. Like, yes, I am worth 400. And of course, there were more things.
Mm-hmm.
You had to put the cash and probably goats, sheep, probably a house, a car. And I'm thinking to myself, all because of culture? Really, it just did not make sense because people.
All right. Personally, I don't believe in bride price, but it's culture, as we said.
Davis. It's honorable for you to give bride price.
Okay, yeah. With due respect, it's really honorable. But when you give bride price in exchange for a lady or in exchange for a wife, that means that lady has a price.
Think of it this way. It's not like you're
I'm
buying
still
her.
explaining. I'm just explaining. I'm not saying I'm buying her.
Uh-huh.
But this lady has a price. Do you know the reason they gave? Actually, do you know the history behind the bride price culture?
No, tell us.
So the thing is like this: the reason they charged bride price from men was that it was kind of an insurance that you're going to keep.
That you'd be able to take care of her.
Secondly, it was more of an appreciation for the efforts that the parents put in while grooming their daughter.
Precisely.
You know, the school fees, the feeding, everything they did look after your wife. And okay, I think that's a reason up to now. But bride price is more of like when it's like you. I was saying it's more like buying someone, but that person has a price. And when we get challenges in future, when we get issues in future, and we decide to divorce, you know what it means? I'll get my bride price back.
That does not apply to all societies.
I'm not saying it applies to all societies, but in most societies it does.
Like?
My society itself.
Are you sure?
They don't give you everything. They give you part.
Like half?
I think like 40%.
Okay.
Yeah. When you divorce, they give you part of your bride price. But then, that's the issue. Because when you love someone, why do you have to go ahead and pay all that stuff?
Honestly, your perspective about this.
No, I'm not saying, I'm not against it. But I'm just saying, this modern culture we are in,
just like
slowly washing it away.
Just like you mentioned, it is more of appreciation. You're not buying a person. It is appreciation. Think of it this way. Oh, beautiful. Think of it this way. Hypothetically speaking, you were a duke and you wanted to marry a princess. Do you think you'd go all smiles and empty hands?
What do you do?
You would have to pay something. She's coming from royalty.
So it seems we are crossing to relationships, but love doesn't have to prove something. Dude, if I love someone, okay, yes, the physicals need to be there, right? The gifts, the bride price, all that. But then, when you love someone, that person you love really knows you love them. You feel my point?
No, I don't
You
feel
don't
it.
feel-
I
then-
don't
then
feel
you're
it.
going
I do
to
not
feel it.
agree. I do not agree.
No, just because.
And I don't think I'm
no,
about to.
no, just because,
Yeah.
this generation we are living in, we bump into things, right? If
What do you
look-
mean bump into
Now
things?
let me explain. Now let me compare this. If you look at our parents and grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
and if you look at our generation right now,
Yeah.
the way our parents fell in love is not the same way we fall in love. What makes us fall in love? I mean, what makes us fall in love? Like it's really a lot.
Like,
Money, someone having a good body.
but it could be
But listen,
infatuation
But
also.
then, but in those days,
Mm.
it's like when your dad approached your mom,
He was dead serious.
eh?
Mm.
Yeah, they didn't have that money to look after them. But our mother saw something they didn't see in other men. You know what I'm saying?
Davis, this
I'm
is
no-
going to be an
no,
unending
I'm not blaming it
conversation.
on women. I'm just giving you an example.
Oh,
And your dad
Oh.
saw something he didn't see in other women.
Hmm.
But then our generation, no, let's be sincere. What men want, nyash and
oh my
you know what
goodness.
I'm saying? What women want is something, a good wallet, a good. Yeah, those women are still there. Those who see in men, they're still there. I'm not saying like they are like they, they're all gone.
Davis, let us just proceed with culture in relationships.
That's what I'm saying. That's culture and relationships.
Let's first chill this topic.
I'm
this
comparing
topic,
culture. No, I'm
this
comparing
topic in
culture and
particular.
relation- I'm comparing relationships in present situation and relationships in past situation.
No, we're now talking about bride price itself.
That's what I was trying to say.
No.
Okay.
Let's
explain.
proceed.
Yeah.
Let's proceed. Let's leave that for another day. So, how else has culture affected relationships? In this way, these days, it is almost normal for women to propose to men, which wasn't a thing back in the day. It was the responsibility of a gentleman to state his intentions. It was for him to go out and look for a lady to take as his wife. You understand? But then today, women are bold. A lady will like Kaitana and tell Kaitana, you know what? I've watched videos of very many of them propose in public space and public
That's my
spaces,
prayer
and I'm
right
thinking
now.
to what?
That's my prayer.
Oh no.
Okay, but
Let
go
us
away.
go back. Oh my.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness. So let's go back to the way it was back in the day. I prefer it that way, though for some cultures. I believe there is an Indian tribe that I'm not sure of where the women
Yeah.
marry the men. So it will be the lady to give the bride price or
No.
rather groom
It's not
price.
about- no. That's not it.
What
I
is it
oppose
then?
with you.
How?
Indian women don't marry men.
What do they do?
They give them bride price. That's it. Okay, let me call it groom price. So the bride is the lady, right?
Uh-huh.
They pay everything. They pay for they pay for the dowry. They pay for everything. But the men still have power over the women, like in the matrimonial perspective.
Yes. That is the same thing
No,
I
you
meant.
misquoted it. You said women marry men.
So what have you just said?
I said women just pay dowry for the men, but men, it's like, okay, men marry women, but it's the women who pay the dowry. If you know the reason, you can explain it more.
Then what does that mean? If I'm paying the dowry, what does that mean?
No, culture differ.
No, let's think of it this way, huh? Yes, the women are paying the bride price, but it does not mean that they're going to be the husbands. You get?
Okay,
That is what I meant.
okay.
You're clear? To gain them
You say
mass.
they married women. They said they marry. I just said they marry men.
Okay, let's proceed.
Continue.
That is it.
You're still
Give your-
explaining about the Indian culture stuff.
Oh, I got
Oh,
that.
they
That is it. You could proceed.
The other thing, nowadays you have long distance relationships. I don't believe in that though, but it's real. It's there. And what keeps these long distance relationships? Maybe the phones. Okay, most especially the phones. And
Dating apps and everything.
on dating apps,
Long distance relationships mostly apply to people who are dating people of other races.
Well, you see, in some cultures, this is seen as really weird. And if you go to your parents and you're like,
I met someone online.
Tinder," then they look at you and they're like, you met someone online? Like, yeah. And you're dating? Yeah. Seriously, dating? Yeah.
Have you met them before?
How long
No.
have you been dating? 5 years. I've met them before.
No.
Then your dad will be like,
Hmm.
do you know what you're talking about? Or what you?
And yet catfishing
I mean,
exists.
In our generation, it's like, some of the things are real.
Yes. Well, some people have been successful,
Yeah.
but not everyone is.
Yeah. You find someone is online and they really fall in love with the person they met online. They've not met them physically.
It happens.
But this also kind of this kind of affects our culture.
How?
That's what I'm trying to say. Oh.
Did you just say oh?
Yeah.
Ah,
Like you go to
it
your
really
parents,
frustrates you, huh?
Yeah. Okay, let's say you've met them physically, right?
Uh-huh.
And then she happens to be like, okay, let's say fellow African, not necessarily being white.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say a fellow African from let's say like South Africa, right?
Yeah.
So she comes to Uganda purposely to see you physically.
Yeah.
So you take her to your parents. Of course, she will introduce herself, blah blah blah. They like her. Then of course your parents, what they want to know is how you met this girl,
Uh-huh.
right? Be like,
I met her on
online.
Instagram.
Instagram. How long have you been dating? 5 years. Okay, 5 years, but you've been seeing each other. Be like, no, this is my first time seeing her. Your dad, the first thing your dad will do, is clap his hands. Like,
But well, we need to be
Yeah,
optimistic.
no, but it's really
Because your story may not be mine.
Something I don't believe in is when you're living in Kampala, someone living in Mukono, and you guys just met online and you're going out a long distance relationship. That can be a long distance relationship.
Because you can easily meet.
Yeah.
They have to be miles away.
Yeah. So, culture has always affected our relationship statuses. But anyways, regardless we move. Maybe I have a few solutions I have here for how we can link relationships to culture. We can improve on our communication styles. We can also ensure the social expectations, what people expect of a culture.
Yeah.
You can be married culturally, but with modernity, you know, what I'm saying?
Involved.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then we also technology and long distance relationships can also bring people together. People from different cultures. You know, when people of different cultures unite,
Yeah.
there's a development. Because cultures are just a matter of ideas.
Okay.
So when you marry a white woman, when you marry a white man, and then the white man believes in zero grazing, and you don't believe in zero grazing, well, try it out.
Though my view is different.
Yeah.
Culture to me is more than an idea. But please proceed.
Regardless, we move. Yeah, and then we have to make sure the relationships we are in, our families must be aware of them. Like, don't bump anyhow. Although when you're still a minor, make sure your parents don't know. But as long as you're old,
What do you mean make sure?
yeah, when
Wait,
you're
wait.
minor, no, love is not all about age.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
and then the changing norms, the changing customs, the changing cultures, things are changing every day. Yeah.
But just because they're changing does not mean you should adjust or go with the flow. You need to stick to something that is right. Come on. Of recent, there's been this entire LGBTQ thing going on. So because it's a trend, it means you're going to take it on.
Did I say you're taking the LGBTQ trend?
You did not understand me, but it's okay.
I said you can do something. You can do anything as long as it does not break the law. LGBTQ breaks the Ugandan law. We are not judging homosexuals from other countries.
Now, when you began,
What did I say?
you related culture
Mm-hmm.
to morals,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah.
Now, morals could be the backbone.
of culture.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So it cuts across.
Mm-hmm.
The LGBTQ topic is not one to be discussed
That's
today.
right now, yeah.
But anyway, we will sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to say, Katana?
Not really. I think we should cut off from here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning on. Hope to be with you next week for another exciting episode. Always remember to take care. We love you. I sign out.
Oh mama, nasikatai.
Hey yo, vibes on vibe, yo, feel the vibe. We are entertainment, CBM Radio. We are that station that you're looking for, that your mama warned you about, yo. We are entertainment.
Add us to your favorites. Add us to your favorites.
Add us to your favorites.
And keep your browser locked.
Keep your browser locked. Yeah, this station's got soul.
Hey yo, CBM Radio, feel the vibe, man.
Yeah, this station's got soul.
Chapter systems are offline.
Number one for today's hits and all-time favorites.
Yo, feel the vibe. We are entertainment, CBM Radio. We are that station that you're looking for, that your mama warned you about, yo. We are entertainment.
Add us to your favorites. Add us to your favorites.
Add us to your favorites.
And keep your browser locked.
Keep your browser locked. Yeah, this station's got soul.
Hey yo, CBM Radio, feel the vibe, man.